evening, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon on the Brotherhood podcast, we have a very special guest for you. I'm just going to read out some of his accomplishments. Going back to 1982, McDonald's All-American at Mackin Catholic High School. Did I say that right? I think I did. All right. Freshman All-American here at Duke, 1982-1983. Two-time consistent All-American, National Player of the Year, 1986. First round draft pick, lottery pick, 10th pick by the San Antonio Spurs in 1986. Played 9 years in the NBA. San Antonio, Philly with Charles Barkley, fellow Dookie, Mike Jaminski. I call him the left-handed Allen Iverson. All right, one of the greatest all-time players in college basketball history. One of my all-time favorites. Unbelievable coach. And I want to say this for all you Dookies out there. All right, the class of 1986 and Johnny Dawkins, none of this would be possible. The 5 national championships, the 14 Final Fours under Coach K, 13 under Coach K, under John, 1 under John. None of this would be possible without Coach K's first great player. It all started with him. He's second-time all-time leading scorer, and this is back in the day when there was no three-point shot. It's really impressive. I think you didn't get the three-point shot till his senior year.
Freshman year, and then it went out.
Then it went out, then it came back.
And after I graduated.
See, you probably would have had 4,000 points. All right? Probably would have had 4,000 points. But Brotherhood, Duke Nation, the one and only, Johnny Dawkins. I'm going to clap for him. What's up, Coach? Talk to me.
Chris, I'm doing well, man. I appreciate the introduction, man. That was amazing. A lot of history there. But as you mentioned, just very fortunate to be a part of some amazing teams. And as you know, because we've all been a part of, the Brotherhood and teams, at Duke throughout our career. And the main thing is no one gets there by themselves. You learn that when you're a part of a program like this. And I was very fortunate to have some amazing teammates. I think about them all the time, talk to a number of them, on a regular basis. And that's what made it so special, is being able to do something with a group of guys that you form a brotherhood with.
That's right. And we go back to the class in 86. I got to mention those guys, all right? David Henderson, Unc Henderson, the great Mark Allery, all right? You got Jay Billis. He did play in college, Jay Billis. And then a player who he doesn't get mentioned, but I got to mention him because he was part of the class, was Weldon Williams. So the great class of 86, which started it all, wouldn't be here without you. How does it feel to be back home?
You know what? It's an unbelievable feeling. This is the first time I've been back in here since 2008, so it's almost 20 years ago. But it's always a warm feeling when you come back here. It always feels like home. You get a warm reception and just a lot of fond memories of all the things that we were able to accomplish, during our time here.
Having you back, it's an exhibition game, right? Usually exhibition games, I get hit up for a couple tickets. I'm not going to lie. Get hit up for a couple tickets. Because you're back, everybody wants to come to the game. See, well, I want to bring me in a couple kids. I'm hearing from people I ain't heard from in a long time, Coach, just because you're back in town. It just goes to show the impact that you still have and your name still reigns supreme. What led into the decision for you to want to come back and play this game here in Cameron?
Well, one, anytime you have an opportunity to come back here is special. Two, for my team, this is an experience of a lifetime for our guys. To come here to be able to say you've played Cameron, played Duke in Cameron, it doesn't get much better than that in college basketball. And so that opportunity, that experience for my team, for me to come back and see a lot of family and friends, because I have a lot of family here, a lot of friends here as well, it just felt really right on a number of different levels.
All right, another question, Coach. You guys have 13 new players. How do you expedite the roster build in installing your culture and your system with 13 new players?
Oh, you lose a lot of hair. You see them bald, right?
Still smooth, still smooth.
No, you know what? That is a challenge. I have to draw upon our professional days of when you're playing in the NBA or you watching the old CBA or now the G League, overseas. You draw upon that experience of watching guys and how they develop teams when you have such a, turnover, from season to season. And so what we've tried to do is we've tried to make sure we understand the personnel we're bringing in, and we try to get it started as fast as possible to start trying to build a chemistry and continuity that we want to have, for this year's team.
Right. From a player development standpoint, back in our day, I'm getting old too, Coach. I'm getting old too. Back in our day, we weren't allowed. Our coaches couldn't work with us. You couldn't work with us in the summertime. Now these guys, we bring them in the summertime. You get an opportunity to work with them basically towards the end of June, depending on what university you're at. How has your player development been having 13 new guys? How has that changed since you even began coaching at Stanford and now UCF?
It's definitely evolved, from my early coaching days to now. You've had to adjust with the times. I mean, they've added more hours, over the time since I started, becoming a head coach. And I think that's helped you, the ability to be able to get in the gym with players, through the summer, continue to show them what your system is. But also, as you mentioned, just the skill development part. Young people want to get better. They have dreams of playing, at the highest level. They want to improve. And I think that's something that we do very well. I have a great staff. They do an amazing job working with these young people. And right away when they get there, we start giving them a program of what's important for them to work on, things they need to study in order to maximize their full potential.
I go back to my time. Your first year was my sophomore year. Your first year in coaching was my sophomore year at Duke. And from a player development standpoint, I probably told you thank you, but I'm going to say thank you again. But I felt like we had three incredible assistant coaches. Quinn Snyder, David Henderson, yourself. And from a player development standpoint, we got better. I mean, the work we put in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Johnny's workouts, they were boot camp. They were hard. A lot of conditioning, a lot of running in the workouts. But I think that's the way you train. And I've adopted some of those same type of workouts. You guys want to come and throw the tennis ball up and you want to do all these tricks. And I think, but the workouts that you put us through, I remember Trajan and Will Avery and Nate James and Elton and shit. The workouts were incredible. I just want to say thank you for that because, you think about the impact that the coaches have on you. Kids want to win games, but also kids want to get better. And so I know that's something that was important back then, still important now, especially with so much change. So I just want to tell you how much I appreciate the work that you poured into me because one of the reasons why I was ACC Player of the Year. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give you credit.
Hey,
one of the reasons why.
And I want to thank you. For me, that was a big part of, when I got into this game. I had seen players who I thought were very, very good players not really improve. And that always bothered me. And I always looked at the coaches, the staff, and I literally would blame the coaches and the staff. Like, why aren't they helping these players get better? They have talent. And then as I got older and I matured in the business, I blame both. I blame the player for maybe a lack of desire, lack of a work ethic, and I blame us for not maybe finding those buttons to push in order to help this young man maximize who he is. Because as you know, everybody has dreams of being the best they can be and they want to play at the highest level they can play at. And I think we're charged with trying to help those young people, reach those goals. We're in this position to serve young people. I think sometimes that get lost in what we do. But we're here to serve. I mean, people served us. I wouldn't be where I am if it hadn't been for Coach K and the things I've gone through, in college and beyond. And I feel the same way about the young people that come and play for me. I have a sense of responsibility to help these young people maximize who they're going to be, on and off the court, to be quite frank.
That's right. State of college basketball. You guys moved conferences, changed conferences, I think it's 2 years ago.
Yes.
Now you're in the Big 12. What has been the impact of being in the Big 12, and how have you adjusted and enjoyed the change?
Wow. I tell you, being in the Big 12 has been amazing. I mean, to be quite frank, over the last 12 years, I think we've been ranked number one as the number one basketball conference 9 out of the 12 years. So you go into a phenomenal conference. Every single game is like an NCAA tournament game. That's how the environment feels. Crowds are unbelievable in every arena that you attend. So I've loved it. I think it's been great for our brand. I think it's given us a lot more visibility as a university. We're already in a great position, great city. Couple that with being in a Power Four conference, a great basketball conference like the Big 12, I think it's really helped us, immensely as far as, like I said, our visibility, our popularity in our area.
Another question, state of college basketball. What is one thing you may change about today's game if you were made college basketball czar for the day? If you were in control of college basketball, you could change one thing. What would you change?
Wow, that's a great question. Probably, I would change one. I think we have to be careful of losing parity in our game. So finding ways to understand the importance of having parity, understanding how good the Cinderella stories have been throughout the decades and decades that the NCAA has been in existence. I think we have the potential to lose those things with down the road we're going in our sport right now. So I would look at maybe ways to how do we have an understanding of how to give more parity to what we're doing. That would be one, I think, thing that would be very important to look at changing.
Yeah. Speaking of Cinderella, 2019, I got to go back to this. One of the great tournament games, okay, especially over the past decade. Your UCF team with Taco Fall, my little nephew, Aubrey Dawkins. He was mean to us that day, I ain't gonna lie, 3 years old. I knew he was 3, right? We had one of the great college basketball games in the tournament. Second round, it's an incredible game. Incredible game. Aubrey is hitting shots, looking at me and Nick James. No, looking at our bench. Taco had an incredible game, but I remember Aubrey really balled. He may have, if check the stats, DB, may have had 32 that game. He was balling. But I just remember at the end of the game, your players being so heartbroken because you guys had a special team. It was a special moment. Don't want to talk. I don't want to go back, but I do want to talk about that game because it was an emotional game for both sides. Coach, you and Coach. You think about Duke basketball, you think about Coach, and then Johnny. Incredible matchup. Then I'm looking like, man, Aubrey, nephew, you got Uncle Johnny, you got Tracy in the audience, you got
family.
It's family. And but it was an incredible game. I'm going off script a little bit. Now, this wasn't in the script, but I thought you did an incredible coaching job. We talked about this, like incredible coaching job. Some of the things that you did. Touch on that to go back in time. Touch about that game and what it meant for you to be coaching against Coach in that type of game with so much on the line, everybody watching. Talk about that.
Wow. I mean, it was an amazing game. The atmosphere was incredible. I think both teams came, ready to compete, as you would expect in that type of atmosphere. And, I thought our guys played their hearts out. I really did. I thought they gave me everything that they had. And that's all you can ask from your team is when you leave that game, you have no regrets because you put it all out there. There's not a player that I had in that game that didn't lay it all on the line for our team. And I'll always be proud of them for that. And, of course, Duke was amazing. They had a great year that year, had a great team, and, some phenomenal players. I mean, Zion, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish.
Trey Jones.
Yeah, Trey Jones.
Yeah.
That team it was an incredible team. And so for us, it was like, how do we find a way to be, competitive with a team of that caliber? And one, I need our guys to believe first and foremost. And so we spent our time getting our guys, in that short turnaround to believe that we can compete, believe that we could win a game like that. And I thought we got our guys there. And the guy who I think led that charge was Aubrey. I think Aubrey's understanding of growing up here, knowing everyone's here, is family to him. And so I think he kind of led the charge. And then we had guys follow his lead, and that really made for a special moment for all of us. You know, we came up short in the game, but I mean, you guys were terrific. Y'all made all the plays y'all needed to make, especially down the stretch of that game, and we didn't make all the plays we needed to make to close the game. And so I look back on it in that regard as teaching my players and other teams I've coached about the importance of how do you close games and finishing games. You know, you have to play until the last second ticks off, and you have to play the right way. And I thought there were some lapses that we had, and you don't get those opportunities back. And so, you know, we fell short into a very good team, and you guys went on to continue to compete. And of course, if we weren't going to play, I'm happy that you guys are still playing.
Right. That's right. That's right. All right. What is something that you loved and admired about college basketball back in the day as a player that you still appreciate today?
Just the atmosphere in the arenas, man. You go in the arenas and the fans are amazing. You know, home, on the road, you can't beat it. There's nothing like college basketball, you know, with the standpoint of just great atmosphere, great energy in the building. That's something I've always loved as a player. I love it as a coach. You go into any hostile environment or even home crowd, it's something that you just feed off of. I can't get enough of that.
All right. So, the fast facts, DB, what we got? Duke memories. Okay. All right. Here's a fun fact for all the fans out there. Like that, right? Coach Dawkins returned to Duke to work my freshman year, 1996. Here we are, 30 years later. Still look pretty good. I look all right. You look good. We both look good.
Hey, that's right. Hey, that's a blessing.
Both look. What are some of your memories about Duke way back then?
Oh, I loved all my memories then. I mean, we had some special moments, of course, special teams you were on. You know, shoot, I was here for a decade, you know, on staff, and I think during that decade, the runs that we had, national championship, Final Fours, you know, ACC regular season championships, ACC tournament championships, it was phenomenal. It's something that, you know, having seen where we had come from 82 to 86 to where we were at that moment then, I mean, it just doesn't get much better. The success we had, the runs that we went on as a team and as a program. And so I'll always look back on that time with fond memories and of each one of the players that I was able to work with, as well as, you know, the games we were able to compete in.
Favorite lessons from Coach K and Duke that you carry with you today?
Favorite lessons from Coach, you know, one of them is easy. It's just the importance of preparation. I don't think I could have lasted as long in this profession, you know, 10 years here at UCF now, 8 years at Stanford. I mean, those are long runs in today's basketball for a head coach in college. And so I wouldn't be able to do that without understanding the importance of how well we have to prepare our young men to be successful on and off the court. And so I think if we keep that charge, or that is the primary mission, we have a chance for, you know, longevity, which we've been able to have, as well as some success. And so definitely I think his lesson on preparation, and I never saw him not prepared for anything. Anything. And that's incredible. And I do a lot of watching. I'm not, you know, overly talkative, but I'm going to do a lot of watching, observing, and I've never seen him, you know, not ready for whatever the occasion was.
Yeah, you're right, because we're fortunate because we're two former players that have also been coaches under coach.
Yes.
And as a player, you know, you play the game,
Yeah.
you go home.
Yes.
If you win a big game on Saturday, probably gonna party Saturday night.
Yes, you are.
I'm not gonna even lie to you. That's what I did. All right? Just me, okay? And then you get the opportunity to work for Coach, and you talk about preparation.
Yes.
You know, after the game, we're watching the entire full game, 40-minute game, from start to finish. Whether it was a close game, a blowout, we're watching that game.
Yes.
And then Coach likes to hit you with this. It's probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We all kind of got chalk in our eye, so we're a little tired, a little chalk-eyed,
Yes.
right? Then he hits you with this, Coach. You know you heard this before. You know, guys, if you guys want to go home, I'm going to watch another game, but if you guys want to go home,
Right.
you can. So we all looking at each other like, no, Coach.
We good.
We good. I'm tired as hell.
Exactly.
I want to go home. But you couldn't say it.
You couldn't say it.
You couldn't say it.
And you're watching the other guys.
You looking at the guys, look and see if they gonna break. They all yawning.
Yeah.
They want to go to the bathroom.
Guys, some blinking.
They're
The blink
blinking.
lasting 10, 15, 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
You watching
And this guy's, he's going strong. Like,
nonstop.
what's this guy's deal?
I'm looking around saying, man, what is in his tea?
What is in his tea? So when you think about, that's when you talk about preparation. It's reasons why he was who he was.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at that. When I first got the job and I made the transition, and we are during the summer, because I'm here at the end of the season, so I'm here in the spring and summer. And so we have the basketball camps going. And, we're going, our basketball camps, overnight camp, we're going from sun up to sundown plus. 8 in the morning, we're probably leaving to go home probably about 10:30, 11 that evening. And that's every day, 3-4 straight weeks. And I was amazed at seeing his energy during that span, let alone the energy he has after games. Because, as you mentioned, 40-minute game is not realistic because it's going to take you 3 times that long to watch that 40-minute game because you got to stop. We're editing it at the same time for preparation for our players the next day. We're talking about each possession. So, therefore, that 40-minute game is taking us hours to complete. And, I mean, just his, like you said, his stamina, his level of focus during that time, it was amazing. So for me seeing him in the summer, how he could go nonstop and then go into the season nonstop, I never saw him have any downtime, no real time where he could just, you're like, okay, let me catch my breath. It seemed like he was always on go.
Always on go. Always on go. Favorite moment as a Duke player?
Wow.
Favorite moment?
You have to say, playing for the national championship. Nothing, can beat that opportunity to have a chance to do something that you dreamed about, something that, you prepared, for, through 4 different years to finally get there last year to compete for that. Are you kidding? It was amazing.
Amazing. That was that game. I was 8, 1986. I remember watching that game. Unbelievable game. Duke, Louisville. Wasn't a Duke fan yet. Wasn't a Louisville fan. I just remember my first memories of watching college basketball was that national championship game in '86. Favorite moment as a Duke coach?
Winning the national championship in 2001. Amazing, It didn't make up for not winning one in '86 and coming close, but it still felt real, real good.
Real good.
To be a champion is nothing like it.
That's
and
right.
Like you said, you're champion for life. And so I love that memory. Great team, and it was a great accomplishment.
All right, they got a question here, but I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to ask a different question.
Okay.
DB, your 1986 team, 37-3, if I recall, right?
Yes.
You can fact check me, though. My 1999 team, 37. I hope you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
all right?
I see it's going to be
We're
a problem.
37-2.
I see it's going to be a problem.
See where I'm going with this, ladies and gentlemen? What team you think win that game?
Oh, hands down, we beat you guys.
Like, trick question, right?
I'm a competitor.
Like he's going to say something else.
Exactly. A competitor, what am I going to say? We're going to lose? That's never going to come out my mouth. So I'm looking at you guys, and I'm sizing up each position. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances for real.
Moving on. Keep it moving, all right? I ain't going to tell you my answer, but I get it. All right. Fan questions from Duke or UCF fans, all right? The Rockdale. I'm not going to go in order with this, DB. The Rockdale. That's the fan. Favorite moment in Cameron as a player? Your favorite moment.
My favorite moment was beating Carolina our senior night. Great moment. We had a chance. If we lose that game, we end up having a tie for the ACC champion of the regular season. But we win that game, we take it outright.
Uh-huh.
And we all for taking it outright.
Got to have it outright.
Got to have it.
It just sound better.
Yes, it did.
Cole is okay.
Yes, but just champion
Just
alone.
champion alone.
Special.
Really special.
Yes, it is.
Cool, huh?
So I would say that was a great moment.
All right. Danny B. I think this is a good one right here. You were part of the first floor slap in 1986. You guys weren't even wearing Nikes back then. You guys were Adidas. Come on, man. What's it like to still see Duke players slapping the floor?
It's special because something that we were a part of. We were starting that tradition, and to see that carry on now, some 40 years later. Are you kidding me? It just says a lot about what that meant to Duke and to the Duke program. So I'm proud of our guys for doing it. I'm proud of Coach for instilling that in us, like say, giving us that edge and understanding. Hey, let's do something unique to in order to kind of signify how important this possession is defensively, and it's lived on.
That's some good ones, Fred. I'm going to skip. I'm going to go to Isaiah. All right? This for both of us. I'm going to let you go first because I learned from you.
Okay.
I stole a lot of your stuff. I ain't going to lie.
That's what we do in coaching.
That's what we do. What are your favorite shooting drills?
Wow.
He had some good ones, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you now.
Yeah,
but you're going to run. You're going to shoot. It's going to be some running.
It's going to be some cardio involved.
It's going to be some cardio involved. I'm just letting you know now.
Well, nothing's changed with me with that. I'm still a big believer in shooting like 5-minute threes where we're moving around the horn. So it's on the move. We have numbers that we want to have our guys meet. And so that's one of the drills I really like. I kind of like determine if a guy is like a green light shooter for me. It depends on how he does in that type of shooting drill. Other drills are making, spot shooting, numbers in a row. How many you're making in a row per spot. Looking at your concentration, looking at your form, seeing what you do. But also how fast can you get around from one side to another, shooting those shots in a row, whether that's 3 in a row or 5 in a row. How many ever we decide to have you, how long does it take you to get around back, maybe again? So drills like that, I think, where it requires concentration, it requires some stamina. Because as you know, in the game, you're never going to shoot the basketball at 100%. So we can all go out there and have feel-good workouts, and that's okay. But I understand that when you play, it's never going to feel like that. It's going to feel where you're stressed, where you run up and down, where you're a little bit winded, and you still have to be able to perform at that level that's going to help you be successful. So we haven't changed. As you mentioned before, coaching you, nothing's changed with how we do as far as working our players out. We still go old school with that. We still work hard. We still have them, work with understanding that you have to be in great shape to be successful at this sport.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to give you 3, and I stole them all from him, all from Unc, all from Coach. He had beat the pro. All right, without going into deep detail, 21 makes before 21 misses, but every miss was -3.
That's because that's a pro level. You can say beat the
level.
college guy and say 1 every 2.
1 every 2. But we say beat the pro.
That's right.
Another one, he had a shooting suicide, full court shooting suicide. 5 spots, no breaks. If you want me to explain, DM me. I'll tell you. I'll talk to you about it, talk you through. All right? Let me see. And then another one, oh, man. The windshield wiper drill. The ladder windshield wiper drill. 7-5-3-1-1-3-5-7. Am I right?
Absolutely,
Oh,
yes.
Man.
All
Drills that are game-like. And so now what happens in those drills, and I always loved your drills because anybody can come and shoot in the gym when you just get in spot shooting and
feels good.
It feels good. But then now you put some cardio into it. You're missing some shots.
Yes,
you got to make a certain number. You don't beat the drill.
Yep.
Then you got like, we can stop and tease it a little bit.
But you want to make it competitive.
That's right. That's right.
Even because when you're shooting and you're working out by yourself, you can still find ways to be creative, like you just mentioned, where you can compete against yourself. As opposed to just shooting balls. Now, there's a number, or there's a certain amount of time I have to complete something in. All those things help you to find ways to compete when you're having your own workouts.
All right, Coach. Orlando Quick Hitters, all right? Favorite spot on UCF campus?
Favorite spot on UCF campus would be my office, because I have so many pictures of former players and former moments that it's nothing like when I go into my office, sit in there, I can look at any wall and get just a great feeling or a great memory from what I look at.
Next question. Favorite win you've had at UCF?
Our favorite win, it's a very good question. My favorite win is probably the win versus Kansas at home. you know, one is Kansas, which blue blood program, you know, great coach, but also it was our first Big 12 win as a member of the Big 12. So to get that win playing against a team like Kansas will always be a memory that I'll have.
Water park or theme park for a team outing?
You know, most of the time for a team outing, our guys, they really like Universal. You know, there are a lot of rides. The park has just expanded. They've opened up an Epic Universe over there now, so it's a fun place. And actually, for our UCF students, they have a day where it's a UCF day where they shut it down, and UCF students and student athletes go.
Nice. All right. I'm traveling to Orlando. I can't get in touch with Grant Hill.
Right.
Can't find him. Grant.
But you can find me.
I called Coach Dawkins. What's the Orlando? Oh, I can't hit Paulo either. Or Wendell Carter.
They're all down there.
They all down there, right? I want to eat. I want to go to a nice restaurant. What's your go-to Orlando spot for a great meal? You can name a couple of them if you want to.
Well, I'll give you a few. I would say Eddie V's.
Okay.
Great spot. I would say TJ Seafood, another great spot. And then me, you know, I'm old school, so I'm a barbecue guy. So I'm gonna go to Four Rivers and get me some barbecue.
Some barbecue. You always took me to barbecue spots.
That's right.
All the time.
It hadn't changed.
It ain't changed. All right. Time to wrap it up. All right, listen. From Coach K to Coach Shire to everyone in the Brotherhood, man. From the bottom of my heart, man, we can't thank you enough for what you meant to this program, who you are as a player, as a coach, but more importantly, as a father figure and a mentor. I thank you. Duke Nation loves you. We're glad to have you back. It's a pleasure. It's an honor and a privilege, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, and I like to say, you know, on that note, you know, when we get in this profession, that's what I mean by serving. You know, you want to leave your legacy. You also want to leave a place where the young people that come behind you are taking those lessons and paying it forward. And that's what I see you guys do. So I love you guys for what you're doing. I love you guys for the mentoring of these student athletes. Because it's all about, man, life skills. It's all about the character coaching. These are all things we try to instill now. Our race is different now because young people are in and out a lot faster than they used to be. You have them for 4 years, now you may have them for 9 months. But still, the mission doesn't change. If you're not here to serve these young people, what are you here to do? And we're going to continue to do that until we can't do it anymore. So, man, I love you. Thank the Brotherhood, man, for allowing me to come on this show. And, man, best of luck this upcoming season. My man.
My man.
Love you, bro.
I love you too, baby.